Hey everybody, Boneful here. So you may have seen a couple of my YouTube shorts where I showcase the innovative single ball revivor. And so what I decided to do for this video is do an in-depth review on the innovative single ball revivor in case you guys are in the market for one for your own DIY pro shop. So I bought this back in December of 2024 directly from Innovative, and I've used this probably about a dozen times so far. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna plug this in. We have a bowling ball that was given to me by a league teammate. He doesn't really clean that ball, so he says there should be oil in it. So I have two temperature gauges here, one that's gonna go inside the revivor, so you can actually see what the exact temperature is inside the oven. And we also have a laser thermometer that I'm gonna use to scan the ball and see exactly how warm the ball gets. So this is what you get essentially. Is you get two of these ball cups, you get a tray inside here for when the oil drips on it. And if you see these little side things right here, these are for trays. This was once a food dehydrator that they had just rebranded for a ball revivor. So I'm going to show you how this works. So we're just going to throw the ball in here. Put it right there in the middle. And you just press the power button, and that's it. It automatically turns on. The temperature is set to 140. It automatically sets the timer to 2 hours. I'm gonna go ahead and throw this temperature gauge in there. So one of the main concerns with this innovative ball revivor is the temperature set at 140. So if you look at the ball manufacturer's warranties, they don't cover when the ball is heated up past 125 degrees. So we're going to test to see if this ball actually gets more than 125 degrees. My guess is that this is not exactly accurate, and that 140 here probably only means 125 in there. This is not a perfect unit by any means. So my guess is that it's going to be off, and we've got the temperature gauge here and the laser thermometer here to test that theory. So we'll come back in a few minutes to see how the ball looks. So the actual heat comes from behind the ball. So we're going to quickly open this door, rotate the ball to see what the temperature is on the ball. I'll take this out real quick. We're going to use this. And I've got 99 degrees on the front of the ball here. And there is absolutely no oil on the ball. We've got 111, 112, 113. Okay, 113 on the ball. We rotated it. So just as I suspected, there's not much oil coming off the ball, just because my teammate probably has maybe 20 to 30 games on this ball. He's never cleaned it. I don't think it's enough games to bring out any oil yet. They recommend pretty much after like 75 to 100 games, you would put it in here if you didn't clean your ball. So from my experience using this bowling ball revivor, if there is no oil coming out pretty much within the first 10 to 15 minutes, you're not going to get anything out of the ball. Even with this temperature going up, there is nothing coming out of the ball. If there is no oil coming out of the ball, there is also no plasticizer coming out of the ball. So everybody that always says when you're going to bake a ball that you're baking out the plasticizers, tell me in the comments where the plasticizers are, because I don't see any on this ball. And yet the ball hasn't got up to 125 degrees yet. It's only been a half hour. So inside the revivor, it's over 130 degrees. So we're still going to wait a little bit. We're going to check this in another 30 minutes. So once it gets to an hour on the timer there, we're going to check it and see how the ball looks and what the temperature of the ball is. All right, so now we're at 1 hour with the ball being in the revivor. Our temperature gauge in there has stabilized at 140. I'm going to quickly open up the revivor door, and we're going to do a temperature scan here. We've got 123 on the front, We'll rotate it around. We've got 131. 131. Still no oil on the ball. There's also no plasticizer. We're sitting at 130. We'll rotate it around. All right, 126. So as I have the oven open, the ball will cool down slightly, but you saw it right there. It said 131 with the digital thermometer. So that means the warranty will be void if you use this innovative ball reviver. So does it get to 140? We shall see. We're going to check because it's been in there for an hour. Bowling ball is going to take a little bit of time to get fully heated up to the temperature inside the oven just because it's a very dense material. So we're going to check in another 30 minutes. We'll come back by and check the temperature of the ball and see if it's increased past 131. All right, we are at 1 hour, 30 minutes for the ball reviver. Our temperature gauge in there is stabilized at 140. We're going to open the door and we're going to check with a digital thermometer to see if the bowling ball is up past 131, which it was at an hour. We've got 126, 127. I'm going to rotate it. 131, 132, 135.9, 135.7. Okay, take it out. No oil on there. Very warm to the touch. No plasticizer either. We'll close it back up. And we'll let it go until the timer runs out. And all of you that say the ball needed to be sanded to open up the pores in order to get the oil out, I'm going to refer you to a couple of my YouTube shorts. And also I'll put up on the screen what Innovative's website says about opening up the pores. You do not need to do it. If you do it, it just speeds up the process by a few minutes. That's it. I also have another video, the Stealth Solid video that I bought used on eBay. When I threw that in the reviver, it started bleeding oil within the first 5 minutes without me even touching the surface on it with a sanding pad. So we're just coming up to under a minute left on the reviver. So the ball's been in there for 2 hours. The temperature inside via the temperature gauge here is stabilized at 140. The ball should be the exact temperature that the oven says, or pretty close to it. We shall see with the laser thermometer. We have 115, 121, 122, 124. 117. There we go, starts cooling down. So the temperature didn't get over, what, 123 I think I saw on there towards the very end. So I'm very curious why we're at 131 during the middle and less towards the end. Once again, no oil coming out of this ball. Don't think there was enough games rolled on this to have any oil. There's also no plasticizer coming out of the ball, so it's just a very warm bowling ball. And here's something that just happened right now. This never happened before. So this glass just fell off the front. I think the glue just got a little too warm. Well, that was not planned. Didn't see that happening, but there you go. Got about a dozen uses on this thing, and that's the first time the glass has completely fell off. I think the glue was just improperly put on there from the factory. But it seems to be staying on there now right when I put it in there. There you go. The ball is definitely cooling down, but it's still warm to the touch. So sorry you didn't see any oil coming out of this ball. I just don't think there were enough games rolled on this ball for anything to come out yet. This is the Heckler Hybrid. And like I said, it's about 20 to 30 games max with that. And I just don't think there was enough oil to come out of there. So my recommendation is if you do not clean your bowling balls and you bowl, at least 75 games with a bowling ball, this will definitely help you out. As far as buying the innovative brand single ball reviver, I don't recommend buying this exact model just because it's a little pricey. I think I paid close to $250 for this, and that was with a discount. It was a holiday discount at the time. And all this is are for the metal shelves that go on here to put your food in there, your fruit to dehydrate. So essentially it's just a basic dehydrating oven. And if you go on Amazon, you can find these for around 89 bucks to 150 bucks, depending on the model. If you do get one on Amazon, you can adjust the temperature. This one, you cannot adjust the temperature. It's set at 140. You cannot alter it on this model. On a dehydrating oven, I believe you can adjust the temperature. So you can get it to go 125 or below so that you don't void the warranty on your bowling balls. So this one, when we checked the temperature, if you saw, we saw 131, I think it was. And that's definitely over the 125 that most bowling ball manufacturers say will void the warranty. So if you're not worried about a warranty, get this. If you are worried about the warranty, I would say get one where you can adjust the temperature to be 125 degrees and below, and also save on costs. So you just want to make sure that you have the proper size. The width is going to be a foot, the height. We've got about 9.5 inches. So make sure it's around that size. That way you can fit the bowling ball in there. If you have one of these, let me know down in the comments how you like it. If you have a basic food dehydrating oven, let me know your experience with it. I know a couple of my friends have the food dehydrator oven and it works just as good. Some people will leave their bowling balls out in the sun. Some people leave their bowling balls out in the car, whatever you want to do. Some people don't recommend leaving it out in the sun just because the sun will put heat down on one spot of the bowling ball only. So Innovative will tell you to turn the ball every 30 minutes in the oven just to make sure you evenly heat the ball and not just heating it on one side only. So hopefully this answers some of your questions on the Innovative single ball reviver and the exact temperatures that we saw inside the oven. A lot of people I know were concerned about the 140 degrees, and I didn't know if it was actually going to read 140 or lower. My initial thought was that the temperature was wrong, but you guys definitely saw with a digital thermometer that it got to 131, which is definitely above 125. So if you go on Innovative's website, they tell you that they've done hundreds of thousands of bowling balls with this temperature, and there's been no damage to the bowling balls at all. What they say in the instructions too is it's set to 2 hours for safety, right? Anything over 2 hours of that heat, you'll probably crack it. Anything higher temperature than that, you'll probably crack it, or you'll probably get out the plasticizer. So as you saw, the ball did not get over that temperature. It got close, but it didn't get over. So let me know down in the comments whether or not you guys have a single ball reviver or how you get the oil out of your balls. Do you use Dawn dish soap with warm water? Do you have another ball reviver by another brand? Or do you just leave your bowling balls out in the sun? Let me know. Hope you guys enjoyed this video, and I will see you on the next one.